Democrats across this country called for defunding local police departments. They did so in the face of rising crime. And what was the congressional response to the colleagues in various parts of the country embarrassing members, Democrat members in the House? Of course, they did what Democrats do so well. They threw money at a problem. They tried to cover up the embarrassment of defunding police at a time when rising crime was occurring by throwing money at a problem.
Despite a big push from President Biden to refund police departments, House Democrats are delaying a plan to do just that. At the same time, every member of Congress is set to get $10,000 to put in security systems in their homes, including $150 a month just to maintain them. But it gets better. As Democrats try to run away from the defund movement, one top leader says it's a lie to call them out over it. Listen.
The notion that any of our frontline members or members of the House Democratic Caucus support defunding the police is just part of the big lie that extreme MAGA Republicans continue to tell about everything.
Okay, so January 6th, the worst day ever. The hoax continues. The grift lives on in perpetuity. 3 years later, it's all the Democrats got. So we're in 2024 in the election year, and Joe Biden wants to be reelected. Well, he doesn't, because we know his mind is shot with dementia, but his handlers in the DNC want him to remain in office, but they have nothing to offer the people because his presidency has been an absolute failure. These people making these decisions on his behalf don't know what the hell they're doing, whether it comes to economy, whether it comes to national security, securing the border, whether it comes to knowing how to address the American people, knowing how to unify the country, whether it comes to foreign policy. Biden has nothing. So what's he going to do? He's going to sit here and bash Trump. He's going to say, oh, Trump is Hitler. Trump is a Nazi. He's a terrible person. And remember January 6th? Remember when Trump tried to take over the country with a bunch of middle-aged, unarmed people? They tried to overthrow the government. They tried to defeat a military and armed Capitol Police with, what, flags and banners? So they're going to continue this grift because it's all they got. But unfortunately for them, everyone with common sense, and there are a lot of people in the country with common sense, everyone with common sense who's paying attention knows it's a grift. And more people are coming to that reality. Things are circulating on social media. Things are on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, showing how Capitol Police literally opened the doors and pointed to the protesters, saying, hey, you can go over here. This is the way to Nancy Pelosi's office. This is the way to the chamber over here. So a lot of these people were charged with misdemeanor and lower level crimes. But since the Democrats have a lot of institutional power and criminal justice authority, they threw the book at a lot of these people. We have people who have been sentenced to years and years for doing nothing but walk through the halls of Congress, went in Nancy Pelosi's office, guided by the cops, but they're sitting in prison. Joe Biden is trying his best to deflect. He's trying to deflect from the economy. He's trying to deflect from the disaster in Ukraine, the disaster in the Middle East, and say, look, January 6th, it was a bad day. Trump was a bad person. Please stay away from him. Don't vote for Trump. We need Trump in jail because the insurrection, January 6th, that's all they got. Let's take a look at Joe Biden.
3 years ago tomorrow, we saw with our own eyes the violent mob stormed the United States Capitol. It was almost in disbelief as you first turned on the television. For the first time in our history, insurrectionists had come to stop the peaceful transfer of power in America. First time. Smashing windows, shattering doors, attacking the police. Outside, gallows were erected as the MAGA crowd chanted, "Hang Mike Pence." Inside, they hunted for Speaker Pelosi. The House was chanting as they marched through and smashed windows, "Where's Nancy?" Over 140 police officers were injured. Jill and I attended the funeral of police officers who died as a result of the events of that day. Because of Donald Trump's lies, they died because these lies brought a mob to Washington.
These left-wing police-hating hypocrites are acting all police friendly, specifically in this situation, specifically with the Capitol Police, because they're using it to score political points. We know the Democrats don't give a damn about police. We've seen them campaigning, oh, defund the police, ACAB. They riled up mobs of people, had thousands of people across the country going out here literally assaulting police officers, harassing them, cussing them out, trying to go to their houses and stuff. We seen how funding was stripped, like in LA, in New York. They stripped funding from police officers. They disincentivize people from joining the police force, demonize the police officers. But now they're acting, oh, we care about the police. No, you care about your political agenda, because again, they're hyping up these Capitol Police and giving them pats on the back only for publicity, only to rile up the base and act like, oh, we support these people, and these people defended our precious democracy against an insurrection.
Tonight, with a mounting national chorus decrying police brutality against Black Americans, there's a new call for deep structural reform of policing across the country. Many are now demanding departments be defunded, dismantled, or outright abolished.
I want people to understand that we are committed to shifting resources to ensure that the focus is on our young people.
Today in New York, Mayor Bill de Blasio announced a plan to defund the NYPD by shifting money in the city budget from policing to social services. The move joins with Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti, who recently agreed to slash up to $150 million from the police budget. At its core, defunding simply means divesting a chunk from a city's policing budget and rerouting it to community programs.
But like I said, we know the truth about how they feel about cops, and we know the state of police departments across the country. These police departments, they can't recruit. Why? Because most of these large cities are run by Democrats, and the Democrats don't support the police departments in their own cities. Nobody wants to be the next Derek Chauvin, so you're a regular everyday cop minding your own business, trying to do your job and go home at the end of the day. You may deal with somebody who's OD'd on some fentanyl or something else, and next thing you know, you end up in jail getting shanked. People don't want to do that, so people who may have had aspirations to be cops, or people who are already cops and retired, these people don't want anything to do with it. Or look at this situation, you had a left-wing billionaire like LeBron James come out here and dox a police officer saying, you're next, after this police officer had to use deadly force to save a woman's life. Who wants to deal with a situation like that? Who wants to be getting doxxed? Who wants to be getting targeted by celebrities, by billionaires, receiving no support from the leadership in their city just for doing their jobs? So these police, they're tired of being harassed. They're tired of all of the negativity. So they're saying, we're out of here. Then at the same time, you have these same Democrats who were leading the charge in the defund the police movement. These same people are using police to protect them. You got mayors of large cities having police outside their homes, escort them throughout the cities. You have these same Democrats using taxpayer money to hire private security or police security for themselves and for their families. But then they tell you, oh no, police are bad. You don't want police around here. The police force in this city needs to be reduced. And if you guys have crime going on, if your neighborhoods are rampant with criminals, hey, too bad, so sad. But they're using taxpayer money to secure themselves. Let's look at one of the members of the squad, a flaming hypocrite, Corey Bush.
You faced some criticism in recent weeks over your push to defund the police. Campaign records show that you spent roughly $70,000 on private security, and some critics say that move is hypocritical. What's your response to those critics?
They would rather I die? You would rather me die? Is that what you want to see? You want to see me die?
Wow. So the hypocrisy is glaring, and she knows she can get away with it because people are going to still vote for her. And you had these same Democrats who are now praising the Capitol Police, even though their actions show that they've hated police. They have the National Guard and Capitol Police anytime they're doing something big up there in D.C. When they had Joe Biden's inauguration, during the State of the Union and all of that stuff, thousands of National Guard people up there, hundreds of police officers out there. But this shows you that these people, they're going to use the police when it's convenient for them. Like Nancy Pelosi's husband, Paul Pelosi, had the police over there at his house after his boy toy went crazy on drugs or whatever the hell they were doing there. Oh, they use the police. Or these people over there in Hollywood when they see someone suspicious, oh, the police are there in seconds. But then they'll go out there and tell the supporters, oh no, police are bad. You don't want the police in your neighborhood. They might kill y'all. So like I said, these Democrats, they hate police, except when they need them. They made police work much harder than it needs to be, but now they want to use these Capitol Police to score political points. So what do you think about this? Leave me your thoughts down below. Share the video. Thanks for watching.